It's been a while since I've done readings by sign because recording 12 videos at one time is a little challenging, but this October 14th, 2023 eclipse in Libra at 21 degrees is kind of a big deal, so I thought I'll do it. This is for Aries Rising, and this is happening in your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, open enemies, contracts, things like that. So kind of a big eclipse for you because everybody loves to talk about relationships. And this is a solar eclipse with this south node co-present. So it's a lot about new beginnings, but you have to let something go in order to let this new beginning in. At this time, the nodes, your destiny, is square Pluto. So like the direction that you want to go in is very much at odds with like toxic traits, habits, patterns, whatever. Additionally, Mercury is combust the sun, meaning that it's conjunct the sun, which can sometimes lead to a lot of overthinking. That leads to anxiety, especially since it's opposite Chiron, which is a lot to do with wounds. So you're likely overthinking things in relation to what's holding you back in order to have like your best possible relationship. But wait, there's more. The dispositor of the eclipse, being that it's in Libra, is Venus. And what is she doing? Well, she's in a sign she doesn't really particularly like being in, and that's hypercritical Virgo, and she's opposite Saturn in Pisces. So there's definitely a very hypercritical eye on your self-worth, the way you spend your money, your relationships, all of those types of things. In terms of like boundaries, I mean, there's a lot going on with this. So basically what we're pulling on is kind of towards what you need to let go of in order to like let your destined relationship in, or allow it to stay if you're already in a relationship. So give me a second to go look at your cards and I'll be right back. Okay, Aries Rising. In the center of your read, we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. You're not ever really fully giving of yourself. You're not ever really fully saying the sweet nothings that need to be said in your relationships or to those you want to be in a relationship with, okay? We have the Eight of Swords, and we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like to you, sometimes relationships can feel a little restrictive. And that's normal. I mean, you're an Aries. Aries is a sign that's very independent and needs a lot of space. This doesn't mean that you can't like nail down that Aries energy, but they can also be a little selfish, right? Aries is the baby of the zodiac. So they tend to, yeah, I mean, they're just a little selfish in relationships. And so they are told they're selfish in relationships. And they may experience a lot of breakups as a result of being very selfish in relationships. And over time, that builds up to like, maybe, and it's not that you mean, well, maybe some of you do, but it's not that you mean to be that way. It's just your natural inclination. So when people interpret it as being selfish, and you don't necessarily feel like that's the way that you don't mean to be that way, you're building up over time these like wounds that like who you are is not good enough to keep a partner, okay? But you really need to let go. You need to sit down with yourself and be like, okay, maybe I need to, with a critical eye, look at what I've done in relationships and how others might perceive that that's a selfish act. And while I don't need to take that on board to equal that I'm a bad person and I don't deserve love, I do need to make some adjustments to my personality or the things that I want and or expect within a relationship or from my partners to, lessen a little bit. Like, you can't have everything you want. You can't have things exactly as you want them all the time. Like, especially if you are in a partnership, you have to come to an agreement. Like, you can't just be like, well, you know, on every Friday, I play video games with my friends and that's that. Or, you know, the first weekend of the month, like, I go to mimosas with the girls and like, fuck everything else. Like, if one or both of you guys has something that comes up that you want the other person to join you on, like, sometimes you have to give something up. Or that's just an example. Like, there's obviously a myriad of other issues that it could be, but that's what you need to really take a laser focused look at, okay? So that's what I have for you. I hope that helped, and I will see you guys next time.